Well, good morning, everyone. I really didn't get a big video out this week, so I am going to do one now. I was trying to figure out what to do it on, and then I thought, you know what? I seen on a YouTube channel where a lady just did a story, and I thought, you know what? Let me do a story. I have some exciting stories in my life, so I thought I'd do one today. I think one of the uh, best ones is when we lived in Arkansas. Let me tell you about Arkansas. Arkansas is a gem. They act like they don't know anything, but they are so intelligent down there, and they have a really good government system set up. It's it's the hidden gem. Uh, My wife and me, I got married my last few months in the military before I got out. And we had moved into an apartment right there close to the post in Maryland because, well, I have to give you a little bit of background here. And I thought because I had lined up a government position in the field that I had been in the military, well, the with the changes that had happened under our new after 9/11, I had to go through the whole security backgrounds and physicals and everything, even though it was just a civilian position in the same unit that I was a soldier in. So while that was all happening, I had applied for another job, but this job was in Arkansas. So, because it was taking forever for a urinalysis that I had to do for the security check. Well, I flew down to Arkansas, did the interview, flew back home, and we were waiting to see. Well, I was offered the job in Arkansas, and I was still waiting on the urinalysis for the government job. So I accepted the position in Arkansas. Well, wouldn't you believe it? I did that on a Friday, and then that Monday, they called me and said that I had the government position, everything had come back, and everything was good to go. But it was too late because I had already accepted that job in Arkansas. And by the way, I would go back to Arkansas in a heartbeat if I had a chance. I just loved it down there. Maybe not in the area we were in, the city we were in, but I would just love to go back to Arkansas, period. Well, anyhow, so I couldn't take the government job because I had already accepted that position in Arkansas. Well, of course, everyone up here in Maryland and Pennsylvania, our family was like, why Arkansas? Well, I don't know. I just got a job there. So the apartment we moved into, we were planning on staying there. That's why we moved into it. So we got permission to, they left us out of our lease, and we were moving to Arkansas. Well, wouldn't you believe the day we were supposed to move, we had a snowstorm, and there was at least 8 inches of snow on the ground, and we're trying to load a U-Haul. Well, to get our car out, shoveled out the day before, I was out there trying to shovel it out, and I didn't have a shovel. A neighbor came out and left me use their shovel. Guess where they were from? Georgia, where they never get any snow, or maybe an inch or two, and it's gone the following day. And I grew up in Pennsylvania where we get snow all the time, and I had no shovel. That was embarrassing. But anyhow, her parents came down, Sonda's parents, and we got the U-Haul all loaded up, ready to go. So we had to drive with one car attached to the U-Haul in the back, and off we went to Arkansas, and we traveled all the way there. Well, we had rented a house, sight unseen, and that was back in 2003. So you really didn't have cell phones that were available right away. So we got there, pulled in there with the U-Haul, and there was trash just loaded in the driveway. Went in the house, and the walls were just yellow, and you can smell the smoke. It was awful. But let me tell you, this is how much my wife loves me and is a saint. We got there, walls were yellow, everything. She has allergies and asthma pretty bad, so that really was not good for her. But we went and got bottles of bleach, Clorox, and we scrubbed down a room that we could put everything into. And then over time, she just went around to each room and was scrubbing it, and we would move into that room. And that's how we moved in. Now, talk about a saint, right? Well, when we were trying to move in to empty out the U-Haul, our couch was too big to go in the door because the door was like an angle to get into. So we had to lift up the couch over the railing and in. And when we did, I fell. I was in a lot of pain. But anyhow, we made it through that. Well, then we turned in the U-Haul, all that wonderful junk. And I was supposed to start work the following day. Well, we heard the night before there was supposed to be an ice storm coming through. We had never, ever, ever heard of ice storms. So it was a surprise to us, and I didn't go to work because I didn't know how to drive in ice. And it was just awful. I was like, we went from a snowstorm to an ice storm. But it only lasted a couple days, and then it melted and everything. But that's where we spent our first 2 years of marriage. And that's the job I had, where I was there 2 weeks and I was at work for 2 weeks traveling. We spent our first 2 years of marriage there, and that's where Patrick, our first child, was born. And it was kind of neat. Everywhere we went, they're like, "You're not from around here, are you?" We'd be like, "No, we're not." And but you know what? That was the best time. We really enjoyed it down there. And we still have friends down there that are getting older now. But I'll tell you, our pastor and our pastor's wife was just, I don't know how to explain it, but they were such very good friends to us and the family too. And it really became a family. And it was a good time. So if I ever had the chance to go back, I wouldn't pass it up. Nope. It was just a wonderful time and area. So, okay. Well, that's one story of Arkansas. We'll get in next time about our church. Oh boy, that was a story in itself. So, all right, I guess that's it for now. I'll talk to you all later. Bye.